know I'm early. I know I'm early. But I said I was going to do a whole video about this, but I didn't feel like editing the hell out of it and adding in clips and all that. So I said, let me just do it live. I'm going to do it live. It is the B1 Night Rider. I'm going to do it live before I go to work. So enjoy it. If you're here, cool. I appreciate it. If you're not here live, you can watch it on the replay. And just know there will be a video for you at 6 o'clock tonight. But I decided I had to give my take on Black Panda. Black Panda, I said. I mean, Black Panther. I had to give my we're not gonna do that. Y'all not gonna laugh at me this early in the morning. Not happening. Not today. But anyway, good morning to everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's been having a productive week. This year is about to be over. Jesus Christ. It is almost Thanksgiving. But anyway, shout out to M. Flournoy and Codified Trucking on Patreon. And shout out to the members who have signed up for the members only. If you want to do that, just click the join button on the channel. But like I said, we're going to talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I saw it on Monday with the old lady. And originally, I didn't want to go see it because I knew the agendas were going to be in there and I was going to be annoyed. But my sister was like, I want to see my niece, and you and the wife need to go have a date. So I said, fine, whatever. And I took her out. She bought my ticket, and we went. Lord have mercy how many agendas were running up in there, but we're going to go through it all, folks. We're going to go through it all. And I'm going to add some comic book stuff into it because there was a lot of things in there that I saw that I know some people probably missed. But number one, let's get the agendas out the way first. Number one, somebody at Marvel/Disney, they love them some House of Cards. I'm sorry, not House of Cards. House of Dragon, Game of Thrones, whichever show you want to do. Because they made the king's son a bastard. Oh, yes. I noticed they did not make Nakia a wife. They did not do this. Now, I know in the comics, they say once the king kisses a woman, that's her betrothed. His betrothed. But check this out, folks. You still have to go through the ceremony of marriage. That did not happen. That did not happen. And she ran with the kid to Haiti to get away from the pressures of the throne. That's what she said in the movie. And the kid's name is T'Challa, so that was nice. Which I'll get into number two. They just love the single black mother trope, huh? They just love that. Especially with Nakia in a powerful position as a headmistress of a school. And I see what they were doing there. They were slick. I saw what they did. They were trying for that Storm, I'm leading Charles Xavier's School for the Gifted. I see what they were trying to do. That was a little tease. But, okay. I know those kids weren't mutants, but the king's son was a bastard. I should be pissed, but I'm not pissed. Because I knew they were going to do something like that. I heard rumors of them saying that they were going to introduce a son for T'Challa to keep his memory alive. Okay, fine. Which brings me to the second part. I don't know if anybody even talked about this, but again, this is for comic book reference. Marvel's going down a dangerous road right here. Now, I love Black Panther. I really do. But they're slowly turning Black Panther into Batman. And that's not going to work here. What do I mean? Now, respect that they want to keep Chadwick Boseman's legacy alive. And Black Panther is arguably a very popular character in the MCU. But for them to introduce a son just so later on they can do Young Avengers, they're trying to make T'Challa Jr. Batman. And if you need a reference point, you can go over to Detective Comics. They did a series called Justice League 3000. And considering that they had every other superhero there, they didn't have a Batman. So they ended up cloning a Batman because, quote, I think it was Dick Grayson's descendant said that the world needs a Batman. So I think this is what they're setting up. They want to have a Black Panther somewhere, but they don't want to have Shuri, since she's now Black Panther. They don't want to put her on this team. I guess they're saving her for the female Avengers, I guess. Okay. That's a very dangerous road you're going down, because you can easily sour your audience on that. Like, they didn't even really explore the fact that T'Challa was part of the Avengers. They didn't explore that, but okay. Got to be careful there. But we'll see how they do it if they ever do a 3. And later, before I end the video, I will explain how they should do Black Panther 3. Number 3, we'll just get it out the way now. I don't mind females being in positions of power. I do not. But there was a clear discontent and a clear line of demarcation between the males and the females in this movie. Now, I heard Brother Great Black Shark's broadcast yesterday while I was at work. Shout out to him. The women, I understand the Dora Milaje are in power. I understand Ramonda is the queen. I understand Shuri's the princess, so she's basically second in line now. I get that. And I get the Jabari. I get that. But you got to understand, folks, if you look at the dichotomy of Wakanda, like, even the male citizens, they did not put up in a position of protection, especially when the Atlanteans showed up. They needed the Dora Milaje to go rescue people. Now, I know that's their job, but they didn't even show men at least making the effort first. They didn't even do that. Even in that house scene, the dude didn't know what to do. Can't do that. If you're trying to show Wakanda as the most powerful nation on Earth, or at least one of them, there has to be a 50-50 relationship there. There has to be. Now, I did like that the Jabari and the Dora Milaje were working together at the end. I did like that. But again, there's still that class system element there, but we're not going to go there. Not yet. Number 4. I have to give credit where credit is due. Dominique Thorne was really good as Riri Williams. My only problem is I don't like the character. I never liked the character Ironheart. I feel like they shoehorned her in, and she came off arrogant in the comics. Now I get it. It's the MCU. They could change the character around. I don't know. As great as she was, I needed more arrogance from her. I think I would have liked her better if she was more of a know-it-all. It was more like she was a know-it-all when she was silent. Like, again, you can go back and read the comics. You will hate her in the comics. Respect to her brain and all that. I'm not even mad at that. But you will hate her. Because in the comics, they did not develop her as well as they should have. Now I get it. In this movie, they had time to do it. You could take certain liberties. You can accelerate her growth. Cool. But we'll see how the Ironheart series pops off. We'll see that. But, I'll give her credit. What was that? 4? Yeah. I think that was 4. 4 or 5, whatever. Might be 5. Okay, 5. For the life of me, folks, and I could be wrong. Somebody could go back and see if they could go find it online, a copy, and look at this. But when they were fighting on the ship and the Dora Milaje were in the water, I ain't gonna hold you folks, but for a second, I swear to God, I thought I saw Simone Sanders. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My eyes might have been playing me, but I swear, I think I saw Simone Sanders as one of the Dora Milaje. I ain't even gonna hold you. But again, somebody can go fact check me on that. But I swear I think I saw her. But, it is what it is. J. Joe 4040 B1. Maxwell Jenkins. Good morning from the left coast. Anyways, I won't spend money on this film. That's fine. I didn't spend money either. My wife did, so it's all good. So technically, I saw it for free. But yeah, I think I saw Simone Sanders in that movie. But again, somebody can go find it online and fact check me on that. Number 6 or 7, whatever. Yeah, when they were at the end, when they were fighting the Atlanteans, I swear to God, when the Dora Milaje were in the water, I swear I thought I saw Simone Sanders' old E.J. Johnson looking ass in the water near the ship. I swear I think I saw her. And it could have been my eyes playing me. But the only reason why I say that is because for some odd reason, the MCU likes to bring out these black celebrities into their movies now. Because I know y'all didn't even notice it either, but go back and look at Endgame, and that Coonstress, Yvette Nicole Brown, was in that movie as well. She was there, I think, for like 30 seconds or something. No, I tell a lie. It was like a blink and you'll miss it moment. But, it is what it is. Film animation art, hello. Kiana G, hello. Good morning to everybody. Okay, the next agenda I saw in there. If you saw the movie, you might have missed this. And I think Brother Great Black Shark talked about this yesterday, but the next part after I mentioned it, I don't know if he talked about it because I think that's when I left. M'Baku, aka Winston Duke, was the only male lead that was black in that movie. Which is fine. Because that movie was more centered on Shuri and Ironheart to a certain extent. I didn't like the fact, and Brother Great Black Shark illustrated this as well. I didn't like the fact that he was comic relief, especially with the Atlanteans. He knew the most about the threat but I think they purposely wrote him to downplay it. Yes, sir. They wrote him to be dismissed because it wasn't until the end when they were all gathered, the council and Shuri as Black Panther and everybody, and he actually sat down and explained how big a threat he was. That's when they took it serious. DSB, good morning. But I don't think Brother Great Black Shark illustrated this point. At the end, they had to do the ceremony to be the new Black Panther. And he said that Shuri wasn't there because she had something to take care of. Do y'all realize he became king by default? You notice how the film did not highlight that. You'd had to go pull a call back to the first movie. So right now he's king and technically Black Panther. So if they do a third one, it's a good call to the comics, because in the comics when Shuri became Black Panther, she ruled Wakanda and T'Challa was doing the missions outside. So this could be a role reversal of sorts. But all right. Again, somebody at Marvel or Disney likes illegitimate kings. They must watch House of Dragon and Game of Thrones. They must like that stuff. All right, say less. I'll just say it now. Yes, Peter had them yams. All right, we're moving on. Michael B. Jordan was in it. So now I don't know if Brother Great Black Shark mentioned this, but you know, somebody could correct me on this. Black women, they dissed y'all in that movie. When Michael B. Jordan came in, they dissed y'all. I don't know if black women picked up on it. She took a synthetic heart-shaped herb to get the powers, but she had to go to an astral plane so she can get the guidance and, I guess, what they call it, get the blessing, I guess. But she saw Killmonger and her mother. Black women, they made Shuri unstable in the mind. Yes, she saw her mother. Her mother was her calming force, especially with the end fight with Namor. But her spirit is Killmonger. They made y'all unstable in that movie. That's one. Two, Dora Milaje are not supposed to show emotion. Okoye cried in the throne room. They made her weak. Now she got to fight and get her title back, but she's now weak in general. The Dora Milaje are flawed. Yes. Kids. Anyway, yeah, the Dora Milaje are flawed now. Next agenda. Okay, the LGBT stuff. I'm not that pissed off about it because I read those comics. I'm not pissed off about it. I knew it was coming. When I saw the blue suits, I said, okay, Aneka and that other chick, they're about to go rogue if they do a third one. They're lovers. I already knew this. So I was like, okay, good. Whatever. Didn't bother me. This agenda pissed me off though. Y'all had the Latinos, aka the Atlanteans, working hand in hand, while the Wakandans and the Jabari, they weren't in sync until they were getting threatened. Hell, even when M'Baku first showed up at the first council meeting, they didn't even want to hear what that man was talking about. Now, y'all can disagree with me on this, but I think M'Baku was supposed to represent the black grassroots. And that Wakandan Council was supposed to represent the Boule. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. J. Joe, thank you for the super chat. It said, "This is why I'm supporting black-owned comics, Impound Comics, Concrete Comics, and Milestone Comics. I'm sick of the disrespect. Dr. Citagio is a black-owned anime studio. Do a review on them. I will. I will go check them out. Actually, I actually have two. Actually, have well, yeah, I have two interviews. One with Black Sands before they signed with Kevin Hart, and then I have another one with Millennial Comics. So y'all can check that out on the channel later. But yeah, I think they were. I think M'Baku was supposed to represent the black grassroots. Again, y'all can go if you ever go see it. You can look at it and tell me if I'm wrong there. Latinos, I gotta talk to y'all real fast. I know y'all ain't gonna come over here, but let me talk to y'all. From what I saw on y'all online, going at the actor that played Namor because he's a dark skinned Latino, shame on y'all. And before B1 get mad at me, I'm not saying he dark skinned like us. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in terms of Latino caste system, he's considered dark skinned. The fact y'all went in on that man like that, this is why when y'all was sitting there celebrating that y'all were gonna get in, we laughed at y'all because we knew it was coming. Y'all wanted a white Latino to play Namor because he's white in the comics. Sorry about that, folk. Uh, let me see something. J. Joe said, Black Sand and Tim, you're interviewing him. I've already interviewed him. I interviewed him back in 2020. It's on the channel. Yeah, he and I did an interview, 2 years ago. But yeah, and I give him, he gets $20 from me every month for on his Patreon, and I have all the comics so far. So yeah, um, yeah. So all of that thing pissed me off, but black women again. I'm gonna talk to y'all. Do y'all understand that you got played in that movie again? Because the chick who was next to Namor the whole time, basically his counsel, she had more nuts than him. She knew what time it was. At the end, she said, "Why are you talking to them? Why are you aligned with them? That ain't what that's not the mission. The mission was to make sure that we do not be seen by the rest of the world." and he was sitting there explaining to her. So, you know, that's gonna be fun if they ever try to explore that. Sorry, folks, I'm just looking up something real fast. Here we go. Copy link address. Here you go. Yeah, it's on there, J. Joe. Here you go. Um. Oh shit. All right. Yeah, it's on there. That's crazy to me. But you know, that's the MCU for you. They don't like they want to put women in prominent positions. This will be the last thing I talk about before I get into the good things that I liked about the movie. The last thing. I don't like the fact that people did not call out the anti-black jokes in there. And I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about everybody else. But again, I don't expect them to. But the fact that, especially Africans should have been deeply offended by that movie. Like I said, you have an African nation that they made their citizens punks. They exposed your class system. And I know most of them didn't even pick up on it. But you let a supposed black American call one of your biggest and strongest characters and citizens, say she had an ashy head. And y'all allowed that. Y'all went out in the movie theaters and doing and jig dancing. That's what y'all did. Y'all probably laughed at the joke. But here's the thing that I know people didn't see or they didn't hear it. Well, they probably did in the movie theater. That wasn't even Wakanda stuff that she had on her head. They dropped a Fenty reference on her makeup. So you have to go to Western makeup for your war paint. Lord have mercy if y'all don't see that joke, boy. That's an internet joke right there. Cause we used to say that chicks putting on these makeup and putting on their war paint. I think Hollywood paid those people to dance like Brother Flex pointed out. Oh, I know. Because I did a video during my Twitter things last week. I put up a video. Of course, they copyrighted it, but whatever. Of these idiots dancing after the first Black Panther. And I'm like, there ain't no way you could go to a goddamn movie theater when the movie just finished and y'all get to go dance like that. Everybody coming outside. But you know what? It's whatever. I call it tether thriller. So it is what it is. Screw them. But yeah, Africans, yeah, y'all swear y'all are the white people of the black diaspora, but none of your white allies came outside and said that was wrong. Y'all let a Chicago chick call your head ashy, and you ain't go slap her one time. Y'all got called. Y'all basically got called spear chucker in there. Didn't even realize it. But again, that whole movie also was about the consequences of being accepted by a world that was not ready for you and does not understand you. And y'all played right into that. And guess what? Also in that movie, they spent a good majority of that movie trying to show why Africans are bad, according to them. That's what they were doing. Every time they mentioned Wakanda, they did that attack, no proof. They did this, no proof. Here's an assumption about Wakanda. Oh, the queen said something. I'm going to misconstrue what she said. I'm going to make her look angry. That's all they were doing throughout the entire movie. Hell, when the queen died, they didn't even mourn. The rest of the world didn't mourn. When the Black Panther died, the world did not mourn. Iron Man dies, the whole world mourned. Just take that with you. And it's not like they didn't know he existed. Now the good. I liked the last fight scene. I did. Even though she was super powered, they still made it a struggle. I like that because they could have easily made her overpowered. They could have easily done that. Or she gets her ass kicked and then she pulls it out. Might as well, if you're gonna make her superhero and super powered, you might as well make it a struggle. So cool. I ain't gonna hold you. I liked it when he stabbed her. I ain't gonna hold you. I love that shit. I like seeing blood on chicks. I like that. That means that they were actually in a fight. But here's my thing. She got stabbed with that spear. How did she not? It must have been adrenaline. I'll just chalk it up to adrenaline because I was like, why didn't she just? There was like no blood where it was. But all right, I'm gonna leave that alone. But then she was fine when she went down to you know, when she went down to go see her niece and Nakia. She was fine. But okay, no remnants of the battle. No nothing. All right. The Chadwick Boseman tribute was nice. It was really nice. There was no music when the movie started. The Marvel Studio credit ran. There was no sound. That was cool. The the flashbacks at the end showing him coming in and talking to her and stuff like that. I felt a little. It hit a little bit. It hit me a little bit because I was like, damn, he's really gone. That's a finality. He's really gone. Killmonger showing up was cool, and he was right. He's always been right. You should have just been what Wakanda should be: isolated and ruthless. But okay, the Boule don't like that. The Atlanteans' attack was fire. That was a great callback to the comics of them flooding out Wakanda. So they got that right. Namor wasn't a punk. And last but not least, it was nice that they gave Ramonda more character development, because they could have easily just had her sit back in the shadows and just play marionette, but they let her be out front. Jay John said, speaking of morning, they should get the guys Bassett to resurrect Killmonger and have him still want to end systematic white supremacy by using the economy and not violence outside of self-defense. I will talk about that in a minute. So, if they do Black Panther 3, there's many directions they can go. Now, like I said, considering M'Baku is king now and a Black Panther, and Shuri is also Black Panther, this is good. Because now you have two different worlds you can explore. If you are going to go down that road, J. Joe, there's only one way you can go down. There's only one way you can go down. Black Panther 3 has to introduce the 10 rings again. And introduce the Mandarin. The actual character, not just the 10 rings. The actual character. Because, again, in the comics, the Mandarin, well, in the comics, he's dead, but the Mandarin's rings resurrected him. And when the Mandarin got defeated, he went back to being an inanimate skeleton. They need to do that. He said, Killmonger with Dust Namor, I bet. Bash the cat goddess of Wakanda can train Killmonger. It's the perfect excuse to make him stronger. They don't go too much. I think Black Panther is not going to go that far with the spirituality. I think they don't want to expand it to that. I think the furthest they went was what they did in the movie with Shuri accessing the negative part of going to the astral plane. Yes. Yeah, I know Shang-Chi did the 10 rings bullshit, but the actual Mandarin with the 10 rings would be fire. And him wielding the 10 rings. But it would kind of suck because you don't have Iron Man there, and Ironheart ain't ready for that smoke. They could do it. Now, again, they could do it in the War Machine movie. They could do it. I don't know if they're going to do that because they're basing that off of Armor Wars. So I don't know if they're going to go that far. But they could do that. And just make the Mandarin War Machine's arch enemy. But we'll see. That's one way. Number two. There's only one villain. Well, really two. That would make Black Panther 3 a critical success. Since, remember what I said, they want to try to make Black Panther Batman, there's only two characters that you can put out there that's going to work. And I'm going to show you who they are. There you go. Folk, on the left is Madam Slay. On the right is one of my favorite comic book characters. He's arguably top 5. And that is Old Man Akabe. Now, if you don't know who these two are, I'll give you a brief history. Madam Slay is basically a goddess of leopards. Not like a spiritual goddess, but she controls leopards. And she can fight. She would be perfect since you're going to do female Black Panther. She would be perfect. Wait, how are they trying to make Black Panther Batman? I explained this earlier. In the movie, they said that Nakia and T'Challa had a son. And she fled with the son to Haiti so he wouldn't have the pressures of assuming the throne. And I said they were trying to make him Batman because they don't want people to forget that there was a Black Panther. And I also referenced a comic, Justice League 3000, where in the future they didn't have a Batman, so they cloned one. And yes, he was white, but still. No, wait. Was it Justice League 3000? No, I'm sorry. It was not Justice League 3000. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, it was on Earth 23. No, I was right. No, Justice League 3000. Yes, I was right. No, I confuse those two. I don't know why I do that. Yeah, Justice League 3000, they cloned and made Batman. I'm sorry, Earth 23, Batman was white. Even though that's a black universe, but sorry. But yes, Madam Slay would be fire. Because not only was she a badass, she was Killmonger's girlfriend and lover. So you can have that there. You can explain that. But Oda Kebe, they call him Black Panther's answer to Joker. Now, he is a refugee from, how do they say it, Gazuda? I think I'm saying it wrong, but you can go look this up. And he was brought into Wakanda, and he started to usurp the government. And he's highly intelligent because he studied in the States, so he's highly intelligent. And he has a deteriorating mental capacity. So he's descending a little bit more into chaos. And the best part, folks, spoiler if you ever read the comic, he revealed that Ramonda is not T'Challa and Shuri's mom. We all know that. Do we? If you don't, I just told you something new. That's not their mother. That's their stepmother. Ramonda in the comic is a heel. That's right, folks. Ramonda worked with Akebe to kidnap T'Challa and Shuri's real mom. Akebe was holding her for 20 years. And T'Challa discovered her. Because Akebe was going to use Ramonda to take the throne. Yeah. Just to see Akebe tell Shuri that Ramonda was never her mother would be insane. J. Joe said, I love Madam Slay's outfit. I can't wait to see the nerds cosplaying. Laugh out loud. It's not a cheesy animal print suit. Most people don't even know about her unless you read that comic. But there you go. You could do that. You can also since now they introduced the blue suits, Aneka and her girlfriend will become rogues to Wakanda. They can join up with a K-Bait to try to take down Wakanda. You could go that far. You have a wealth of possibilities here, and the story would be fire. But we know the MCU, they're not going to go that far. But we should see. We shall see. You know how Marvel is. They're not going to do it. But Akabe, hey Ryan Coogler, I'm gonna figure out which one of your social medias you use, and I'm gonna cut this part out and send it to you. If you ever get to do Black Panther 3, you need to do Old Man Akabe and Madam Slay. You will make $1 billion in a month. I promise you. Just off the simple fact, once you announce that he's the bad guy, and people look him up and they say, "Holy shit, he's like Joker," that would be perfect. Oh yes, when I read that, yes sir, that would be a great twist. That's really seeing fiction outside of Loki. Imagine a hero find out that their parent isn't theirs. You can have them react in numerous ways, be it good or bad. Oh yeah, you could have it when Akabe tells Shuri that's not her father. I mean her mother. The Killmonger side of her takes over completely, and she's basically on a journey after that to get back to who she was. Because remember, she said in the movie, "I want to see the world burn and everything in it." And he told her, "Then go ahead and do it. They owe you that." Like she should, as queen now, she should go with M'Baku to the United Nations and tell them any other trepidations and incursions on our sovereign land, you won't have to worry about the Atlanteans only. Wakanda will strike with the full force of our technology. People gave Loki a pass even though he butchered thousands and tried to destroy the Frost Giants. Try that with the lead. We're going to get there. Now, who wants to know how they should introduce Storm? Because they actually left that open. Now, for those who don't know, they killed off Queen Ramonda in the movie. But with the introduction of Kang and them doing Secret Wars and Secret Invasion, and Kang being a time traveler, you can perceive to go in the future and have Angela Bassett be an older Storm. But if you're going to do Black Panther 3 and you do Old Akabe, you can have Storm show up at Wakanda to pay her respects to T'Challa dying and explain that they used to be college classmates and that they briefly dated. Now you have Nakia being a little jealous because she thought she was the only one. So you could play on that old stereotypical trope of women not knowing about the other one. Because if you look in the comic, Storm and Nakia have a very rocky relationship. But you can also say that they were one of the lucky ones when the snap happened, that they were on asteroid M. I'm not saying make the X-Men space-based. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they avoided the snap because of asteroid M and their technology. So she didn't hear about T'Challa dying until they came back to Earth. So now Shuri got to deal with that. And by this point, Storm, you could go there that Storm is basically the headmistress of the school. And if you want to do an X-Men movie, the first one, you should have them looking for Professor X. That's how I would do it. I just ferreted this out. I just thought of this freestyle. I know it has to be fleshed out. I know this. But there's ways to bring Storm into this. But again, I don't know what the MCU is going to look like in Phase 5. We don't know. And since Kang is black, and we know that's Nathaniel Richards, I don't know how they're going to explain if they do the all white setup. I don't know how they're going to explain that. But we'll see. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all coming in. I know this is an early live, but I just wanted to get this out the way. Because I know everybody else did theirs, but, you know, I just said, let me do mine. Add some comic book things into it. But yeah, y'all. Let's see. Tiana Taylor should play the Madam Slay character. Could work. Yeah, it could work. Yeah, we could make that work. You know how they could do it, though? I just thought of something. I think I know how they could do it. She could still have that power over controlling leopards. But since the rest of the world hates Wakanda so much, she could be a government sanctioned assassin. She could do that. Like she was part of Killmonger's crew, but she was off doing a government assignment, found out he died, and she was just sitting in purgatory for years, and then got the opportunity to get out. And she wants to go after Black Panther for killing him. You could do something like that. But again, this is all fleshed out. So it's not fleshed out yet. So we'll see. But anyway, let me get up out of here, y'all. Get ready to go back on the plantation. Before I go, Tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna be with Dewan B on. Well, she's really not an anti-hero. I know they'll probably make her an anti-hero in the MCU, but in the comics she's a villain. But well, we could see Feige doing something like that, maybe. But yes, tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock on Twitter, Dewan B and I are going to be talking about Black American music because we try to do the show on Monday. YouTube would not let us be great, so we're going to do a reboot of that. So I have the link on my community tab. If you want to come through, come through. If not, I will stream the first hour here because I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm trying to do it in the only hour because I got to go on plantation again, but it might be 2 hours. I'll have it streamed here so you guys can listen to it. And Sunday will not be talks because I have to go to work, but we will do it Monday. We will do it Monday. And be on the lookout Saturday evening before y'all watch Jason Black. I have a very controversial video coming. Very controversial. Oh, yes, we will talk about alternative music. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. But yeah, so just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here. Take care. Stay safe. And you know what to do when they hate us.